Welcome to a show Christian Mingle won't sponsor.
This is Hoes Before Bros.
A show where us hoes can talk about being bros, or vice versa, but you get the drift by now.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Zach.
And we're the Zakar Twins.
On today's episode, we're talking about growing up gay. When it comes to terms of sexuality, when did you know?
When did I know?
When was the moment? Was there a moment that you were like, aha, I'm gay?
AIM. Like, I don't know, now I'm dating myself, but like chat rooms. Like, I used to talk to so many older...
Smarter Child?
No.
Where you're like, Smarter Child, I like dick. And he was like, here's the responses for dick.
No. I used to talk to old men that were probably from like Connecticut that were like 80 years old.
Well, how old were you?
Probably like 12, and I was like, yeah, I'm 18. I'm an 18-year-old female.
Oh, so you were like gaslighting them.
Oh, I was catfishing older men that were probably catfishing
I mean,
me.
you do what you need to explore your sexuality.
That's kind of when I knew. I used to talk to men. I think when I first started watching porn, you see, when you watch straight porn, you're like, why am I only focusing on the penis? I was only looking at it, and I was like, wait, do I want to be that girl?
Porn was like your focal
I
point?
mean, yeah, like porn.
I think
The internet ruined me.
The internet ruined Michael. That's why he talks the way that he does himself. For me, it was probably I remember this moment like so vividly. I was babysitting at the time. I was like 14. You know, Middle Eastern people put like kids with kids. Like I was a 14-year-old
Babysitting kids.
like a 9-year-old. I don't know. I'm blaming my parents. Anyway, I was babysitting, and it was at the age where I was like so like curious about porn. So I went to Google and I searched boob. And I remember this day so specifically. So I searched boob, and under search results was a picture of Superman and Batman kissing.
Oh my god, I know exactly what picture you're talking about.
It was a gay awakening. It was literally a gay. At first I threw up. I threw up.
I was like, oh my god.
I threw up, and then that night I was like sitting in bed and I'm like, why am I still thinking about Batman and Superman? And it slowly started making sense. The moment, that's what ruined me. Cartoons ruined me. Cartoon porn. For me, my first gay awakening was Superman and Batman banging each other. And then I was like, okay, I need to like do this to myself. I need to try it. So then, I had to do a makeshift dildo kind of thing. Where like, I'm not gonna go buy a dildo, not with mom. You know mom. She's gonna go find the dildo and then like, I don't know, maybe she'll use it and be a nicer lady. I don't know. But so like for me, my first gay time needed to be like with a toy to see what I liked. So like I would go around the house, I would steal dick-shaped objects. What was the first thing you put in your ass?
I was so scared of that. I'm not gonna tell my mom I'm buying a dildo.
No, yeah, of course.
So I was like, okay, what phallic object can you find around the house? I think the first thing was a glass fruit. We had that. Remember that glass fruit that sat on the table?
Yeah, we sat on the same. I'm sure we sat on the same glass fruit.
I think it was like
the banana.
There was a
zucchini.
Yeah, I was like, but I put a condom on it.
Me too. Okay, great. So we're Eskimo sisters.
I'm sure there's a lot of things in that house that should not be touched.
For me, it was like markers. It was the ends of hairbrushes. Like a hairbrush.
I think I've done a pickled cucumber once, like those really long ones.
Good for you.
Yeah, and that was like the last time I put anything in my ass. I was like, you know what? I should get a toy.
You know what's concerning?
Because like, what if someone used it?
You know what's concerning? I've put more condoms on fake abjects than real dicks. I mean, I don't know. There's something in there, but I don't know what it is. I was so focused, like growing up gay. I was so focused on my own journey. Learning that you were gay, that was like an awakening.
We're from rural Michigan, and basically like coming out for millennials, I think is so different than coming out.
It's so interesting. I hate being the old bitch, but I'm turning we're at the age where we're turning into the old bitches, and I'm like, it's so beautiful, but also so weird to see like high schoolers now who don't need to come out.
I think coming out, honestly, for a lot of people, makes you a better person because you learn how you want acceptance, so you're accepting a lot of other people.
I agree.
Like you, but you're a bitter gay, so.
No, I don't think I'm bitter. I am bitter. It is beautiful to see the generation before us not having to come out, not having to feel awkward, to embrace their sexuality. I never had that experience, so part of me is jealous, but it's also like kind of amazing that we're getting to a point where coming out isn't your identity. Because for me, parts of it feel like that.
Millennials, I think, are the best people alive, and what I mean by that is like we saw the rise of the internet. Like we've seen it all. We've seen
CD
technology.
players.
We've seen that we have to go to college. We have to get in debt. Like I love that Gen Z can now. They are more socially aware at an earlier age, but I feel like
I don't know.
Struggled and saw more.
They're on TikTok. They don't know what they're doing. They're just doing those dances go.
Now we're the bitter gays.
We're on TikTok too, so we can't be too bitter.
It's Zakar Twins.
No, I think for my own personal journey, I was under the illusion. I think we have a very unique situation, obviously, why we're in bed together. To tell the world, Michael, how we found out each other were gay.
Well, we were both in high school, senior year, and I had a kid in my 4th hour computer graphics class come up to me and ask to fool around, and I was so excited by it. I was like, how do you even know I'm one of you?
I know what you mean. I'm saying everyone knows you're gay before you know you're gay.
I was very flamboyant. Was wearing Christmas and cat sweaters.
I was wearing this. I'm like, how do you know I'm?
How do you know?
Gay?
Top.
In the middle of an orgy. How do you know I'm gay? Dick in my mouth.
But with this kid, he was like, want to go fool around in the bathroom, and I said, yeah. So the next period, I went to go fool around in the bathroom. And while we were doing some things, these 2 rugby jocks come into the bathroom and see 4 feet under the stall. And they were like, oh my God, I think there's 2 boys under there. And Zach played rugby at the time. So when I ran out, they saw me thinking that it was Zach. So basically everyone...
So in 14 seconds, Michael ruined my credibility in school in 14 seconds.
The rumor was Zach was gay. Zach was not at school that day. He was homesick with a stomach flu.
I wasn't even there to get my credibility taken away from me. So Michael came home. He approached me and he's like, hey, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, what? He goes, there's a rumor at school that Shane blew you and that you're gay. And before Michael could say anything, I go, I thought nobody saw us.
I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, what?
What? I was like, wait, no, it was actually me who got caught.
I was like, what? Long story short, a week prior, I fooled around with the same kid he fooled around with. I thought he was insinuating that, and we accidentally came out to each other.
It was a really bad episode of Sister Sister.
It was a slutty episode. It was like the outtakes to me. From that moment on, it was almost kind of like a TV show moment where we're like, oh my God, I have someone in my pocket now. And it was our coming out that took 7 years with our mother to kind of come around. And our coming out started our career. We wrote the book, Pray the Gay Away. Buy it on Amazon. Shout out to Pray the Gay Away.
So there was just so many problems with coming out gay, especially in a Midwestern area. No one tells you about the gay cringe while growing up.
Yeah. There's
so many things that you didn't realize that were so gay when you were coming out. One time in school, we were playing, it was I think 7th or 8th grade, where we were playing soccer and we had the jerseys. Oh my God. Yeah. You know those jerseys, those shiny ones?
Let me prefix. Michael didn't know he was gay. Go on.
He didn't know. And we were on the soccer field and I had that neon yellow jersey and I was like, wow, this is kind of cute. And I was looking at the sun and and as America's Next Top Model gay, I was posing with this jersey while everyone was playing soccer. And I was like, okay, I'm a model. And right when I was posing and looking at the sun, the ball passes me, and someone's like, what the are you doing?
And that moment,
I was like, oh, I'm so gay. I was literally posing in the sun. I was like...
I don't know. I never felt gay. I knew I was gay, but I never felt gay, and I feel that's where a lot of my identity came from. And that's why sex for me is so part of my personality, because I feel sex for me made me come into my identity. For me, it was... The turning point was post blowjob, post coming out. It was that moment I was like, oh, we're when do we come out to mom? And I was like, we're never coming out because coming out wasn't an option for us. And now we're in bed together.
When we did come out to our mom, she threw holy water on us.
It didn't work. We're both still sucking dick.
It did not work.
Little.
And she tried for 7 years to de-gay us. And I think coming from a suburban area coming out, that's why so many gays escaped the city. They don't want to deal with the drama from where they grew up. I think anyone that wants to really grow needs to move away from what made them.
So what advice would you give to people coming out?
Move away from your hometown. Yeah. Like I said, you can't grow in a place that doesn't service you anymore. And I think a lot of us that weren't accepted as a child, we had to go away from that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of us that stay and stay hidden. And for such a long time, we stayed hidden because we didn't know anyone else that was gay.
advice to coming out?
Advice to coming out?
Outside. So like what advice would you give to people coming out? Like and it's also, is that advice still valid in today's day and age? Like the advice I used to give out 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't give out now.
No, because you go to a pride parade now and you see things pansexual. That was never a thing when or maybe it didn't have a term, but we never knew what pansexual was, you know, and
That's why I'm like, I almost feel like the grumpy old adult. When I came out, it was gay, straight, bi. And there was nothing else. I mean, there was trans, but it wasn't as like as heavily in media. So like, those are the only things I knew about. And I feel like we're in an era where there's like labels for almost everything, which is okay. I'm not against that. My advice for any parents watching, if you're watching,
I'm sure parents are not
if any
watching.
parents are watching, it's communicate with your children. Ask them questions. They probably don't know, but talk to them. I think communication is the healthiest route.
It would have helped so much. Even if my mom didn't understand what I was saying, it would have been like if she was like, so, how's the dick?
You
If
know
she
what I
would have
mean?
just
Yeah.
asked anything, our mom still pretends like it does not exist.
I'm just gonna say it in an era where identity is everything. Do you use the gay card to your advantage?
All the time. Like I always feel like females feel more comfortable when you say it. So I
1,000%.
I always had to be like, hi, I'm gay, just so you know. Like I'm not straight.
I do think in this day and age, I do use the gay card to connect with people. I think I use it to like be like, hey, like for women to be completely honest, like knowing what they have to go through. I use it as like a feminist thing to be like, hey, I'm gay, as a way.
I'm one of you.
No, not just.
I think so many of us feel so related to, like a lot of gay men feel so much like a female because that's what inspired a lot of us growing up, like the divas.
Well,
you know?
straight men are a whole different episode. Season 2, we'll do a straight man episode.
I don't want to hear about straight men.
Because straight men are aggressive. I want women to like feel safe when I'm in their presence because I feel like it is like I can't. Like, you see those videos on TikTok where they're just like walking to their car and I'm like, I never think twice about walking to my car. So it's
I couldn't imagine being a woman. Okay.
I could barely imagine being straight man. I'm like, do they think? Do they wash their ass? I have so many questions for straight men. Okay, Michael, last question. What are some, in your opinion, obvious indicators that someone is, yes, gay?
Okay, so I always say like everyone's on the spectrum. You aren't. I don't think anymore. I swear, no one is actually straight. Even if you're 99% straight, there's that 1%.
There's 99 people in a room and only one has to believe in you.
Okay,
Go off, Lady Gaga.
I just think everyone falls on a spectrum. So the gaydars doesn't exist anymore. Like
I agree. I think gaydars don't necessarily exist. I will say a dead giveaway for, from what I've learned, is eye contact. I feel like if someone's interested in you, there's a difference between like looking at you right in the eyes as like a professional aspect and someone who is lingering.
Is he nice or is he gay?
He's probably gay. Well, Michael, I think that's enough gay talk for one day. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of
Hoes Before Bros.
And remember to like and subscribe to the p.e.g. YouTube channel so you can watch more Zakar Twin content.